Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are standing in Sharlayan to continue the quest series of Tataru'sa Grand Endeavor, where the next quests need some pre-requirement of other stuff. Let's see what the one we pick up today needs and what it is. Sowing profits? Sowing profits. Let's see what is this. Why, hello there. Your arrival could not have been more timely. Mrs. Tataru has just left instruction for another batch of deliveries. She sends her regards, of course. Today she's in Idleshire for business with Rowena's House of Splendors, and tomorrow we'll no doubt find her in some other far-flung corner of the realm. We must be outdone, Desiree. This time our samples are destined for 2 organizations in Corvus, an arrangement made possible by none other than Master Sicard. He contacted his dear friend Lord Emmanelain de Forton, who was kind enough to spread word of a boutique to his own contacts across Ishgard. It hardly took any time for the first letter of interest to reach us, and once these samples have been delivered, that interest will be piqued to a passion. Or so I've been assured. Lord Emmanelain has insisted he will take care of all the particulars, and bid me convey with enthusiasm that he looks forward to accompanying you on the deliveries. Now then, regarding that secret mission of ours... A gorgeous sapphire, is it not? It will make a beautiful necklace once restored. A keepsake of not only Mr. Tataru's mother, but that of her many friends and allies from across the realm. I'm confident that someone of your experience has a most discerning eye for mementos. Bring back anything you think will make a worthy addition. And with that, I will leave these samples in your capable hands and eagerly await your return. Your safe return. Good. So we go to Ishgard. Hey, Emmanelain. Desiree, old girl. 'Tis good to see a rosy glow in your cheeks, considering what dreadful business with the imminent destruction of mankind and the end of times and whatnot. Yes, indeed. Who better to distribute exquisite arms and accoutrements than a bona fide hero such as herself? Well, I have 2 parties with simply ravenous interest in your products, dear lady. The first of whom so happens to be rather exquisite herself, my dearest Lady Laniat. Be so good as to precede me to the Rose House. I shall be along promptly, of course, just as soon as I've coiffed and powdered. Alright. Off to the Sea of Clouds then. Lady Laniad, I have a business proposition for you. Well met, Desiree. 'Tis good to see you hale and whole. Thank you for personally making the trip. I know your obligations are many. Truth be told, your arrival could scarce have had the better timing. While our erstwhile troubled relations with Vanu improved by the day, we have been forced to reconsider our current munitions due to recent incidents of... I have come, my darling Blossom. Behold, Emmanelain the Executioner, here to smite your foes with ruthless ardor. Well, I strike a rather smashing silhouette, do I not? Why, Sicard could not have found a better man to give these samples to. Surely such splendid armor could be put to better use than fashion, Lord Emmanelain. Could I not prevail upon your better senses to relinquish that gear to those who might appreciate its practicality? Far be it from me to deny any request of yours, Lady Lanyard. Only I must confess that I may have slightly exaggerated Sicard's generosity in the matter of gifting these. Ah, you mean to say you borrowed them, no doubt without his knowledge or consent. And why should I have expected otherwise? Friends may forgive, but it bears repeating that your clients deserve at least a modicum of professionalism. You do have other clients, don't you? Of course I have, and of no little celebrity of that. You remember the Redbills, of course? Yeah, from the Heavensward Alliance raid. The Sky Pirates. That an experienced adventurer should know them hardly surprises me, but how does a privileged son of House Phantoms come to make their direct acquaintance? It was a happy coincidence of alien circumstance, I assure you. As Cesare can attest, an unbiased range of social contacts is the essential arsenal of not just adventurers, but any gentleman of consequence. Or lady of consequence, as it were. Unbiased is all very well, but Sky Pirates are precisely the problem I was speaking of earlier, Desiree, before we were interrupted. Recently, self-proclaimed Sky Pirates have been marauding trading vessels with troubling audacity. Even the Skysteel manufacturer has reported stolen property at the hands of these ruffians. Troubling news indeed. Well, I cannot imagine fellows as amicable as our Redbills could be responsible. Still, if we should hear aught of it, I shall send word directly. Now then, Desiree, off we trot to the infamous Perak. I've been told to seek out a certain red standard upon Coldwind. How the pulse quickens. Ah, we're already here. I thought we needed to travel. This looks rather promising, wouldn't you say? I leave the rest to your uncanny sense of direction, old girl. To the Perak we go! Well, well, if you ain't the very picture of health, Desiree. Saving the staff from complete annihilation didn't tax you over much then, huh? Let me guess, it was not compared to all the bowing and scraping required of a mercantile genteel? Don't tell me this dandy is what wooed you from the life with sweet nothings of financial comfort. Leofard, my good man, you know as well as I that the only one wooing Desiree into anything is yourself. Don't think your interest in our mutual friend here escaped my notice. Your aim all along was less about armaments than it was an audience with Desiree, was it not? Not bad for a dandy. I might have had my side on a touching reunion between Desiree and myself, but that's not to say I won't be needing those samples. See, I've got a job that could right benefit from both your keen sense and those pieces you've brought me. So long as they're half the quality of what Emmanelain was showing off at the Ale House anyway. I can count on your participation, yes? You'll be duly compensated, of course. Just name your price. Parts of a necklace for Tataru'sa herself, huh? I'd have preferred something you might make use of. But far be it from me to dictate what a woman does with her booty. If it's your recompense, I'll see what I can do. Now that we have you on board, allow me to elaborate. It seems another band of petty thieves has been masquerading as sky pirates and harrying honest traders as of late. So you've heard of them. Aye, the so-called monstrous cockatoos don't exactly strike fear into the heart of man, but they're being a right nuisance. And now they've gone and made things personal. You remember Emil, don't you? The captain of the airship? Well, after what happened in Dunscape, we've been commissioning the finest airship parts from across the realm for the construction of a successor. Only of these cockapert nincompoops pillaged the very skyscraper manufacturing vessel that was carrying our precious cargo. The nerve of some people, huh? Makes me mouth water. Of course, once the cockatoos realized whose properties were pilfered, they flew into a panic and holed up in Idleshire after stashing the goods somewhere. This is where you and your samples come in. We want you to take Leofard and... Before you spill the rest, Stacia, let's make sure our friend here is still up for a spot of fouling. How about it then? I have been craving Game Bird lately. I knew I was right to call you. Those downy ducklings won't know what plucked them. Quite so. With Desiree returned and our crew complete, victory over these ne'er-do-wells is most certainly assured. By the by, would you have any terrible objections to inform the Rose Knights of your designs upon these charlatans? The Knights are affiliated with House Helena, you see, and thus have particular interest in recovering the contents of a Sky Steel vessel. I know the most capable Lady Laniet simply will not rest until she has brought these scoundrels to justice. Can't say it's an alliance I've ever considered, but so long as I get all the kakadu I'm due, our knights most thorny are welcome to catch and cage as they see fit. Splendid. Lady Laniet shall be very glad to hear of it. Overjoyed even, yes. She may simply be unable to contain your own delightment. I must away. Naught awaits us in Idleshire but danger and subterfuge, but such is more tempting to our ilk than lovely knights, huh? Let's be off. I'll explain the rest of our gambit once we get there. And again instantly teleported. Between Leofard's hoarding all the shiny baubles and Cates coveting all the maps and scrolls, the Redbills ain't been selling much in the way of treasure lately. Be frank, we're flat broke. Surely restoring the good name of Sky Praises is a matter of pride, but we simply can't afford to lose those airship parts. I for one am most indignant by how well he looks. Who's the dandy now, you ask? I reckon my reputation precedes me in these parts, and the legendary Redbill Leofard ain't known for talks like these. Though I could get used to this. Comfortable, practical, and with a sense of style to boot. And often you find that holy trite in battle gear. Quite the line you're tooting. Which brings us to your role in my master plan. While it ain't easy laying low in a motley place like Idleshire, these cock-a-hoop cowards have been managing it well enough. So to lure them out, we're going to spread savory rumors of a black market merchant looking to find contraband for even finer coin. That's you. Me. Because no one knows me. Just strike up a chat with any adventurers and peddlers that seem like to share hearsay. I'll be playing your hand some bodyguard, so rest assured I've got your back, mistress. I've taken the liberty of preparing your guys. It ain't as flattering as Leofard, but you should fit the part nicely in this. Leofard is now accompanying you. Also keep the guys. Yo. Anything interesting to sell? Contrabandists. Well, I do know of some sky pirates new to town. Just the other day I overheard them discussing their latest windfall. Ah yes, just the sort of enterprising folk we're looking for. You think you could help us pin them down? I do what I can. I'm no stranger to sky pirates, so I ask around. A merchant yourself, are you? Perhaps I'm overstepping, but consider this friendly advice. Seeking out sky pirates dressed in such stereotypical garb is akin to dangling a sign from your neck reading, "Purge my purse." Oh, the righteous Redbills may pity you, dear lady, but few else. Righteous ain't never been to me, enlightened mate. I just can't abide them reprobates who don't honor the creed of sky pirating. Or so I imagine Redbill Leofard might say, eh? Not that it's any matter of ours. Anyhow, should you find someone looking to offload dubiously obtained merchandise, send them our way, will you? If you insist, but don't say I didn't warn you. Say. They actually mentioned Tataru would be here with Rowena. Is she? Doesn't look like it. Maybe we'll meet her. I will not go looking around the entire city now. Might be interesting, but not while I record. This is just jovial busy dealer.
Yes, Gobby, I catches such sky stealers. Sky stealers come to claim busy deal at Craftforge, but bring no trade goods for Jigglyshine. Great laugh joke for Gobby merchants. Sky stealers leave with Grumpface. Gobby does not understand why uplanders wish to trade tongue flaps with Grumpface sky stealers, but happy to help land for more laugh jokes.
Much obliged. If all goes to plan, we'll have you laugh joking over their sorry hides for summers to come.
Great happiness. For goodly uplanders, Gobby shares one more laugh joke. Sky stealers won't cry about calling strong friend as they shame one. A friend may be strong, but sky stealer brain cases are still airy light.
So, are we the talk of town yet? As far as I can tell, you're strong contenders, perhaps second only to rumors about a mysterious intimidator who cast their lot in with the cockatoos. Only natural those sniveling whelps hide a browbeater. But what thickhead willingly courts the rank of Redbill Leofard? Well, I suppose a few names come to mind, but no matter. Our plan proceeds as discussed. Let's take to the streets and wait for our clients to come crawling, huh? Whoa there, are you a trader looking to chaffer with the monstrous cockatoos? Chaffer, with scrags like you, Fury and me, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. But voice, Redbill Leofard. As you live and breathe. Not for long though, if you don't hand over what you and your dicky bird stole. Bluster all you like, Redbill, but you ain't getting the better of us this time. We've treated with a sky pirate that'll crush you to pumice. And there you were thinking this would be ever so simple, were you not, my dear Leofard? Not in the slightest. I was thinking surely Radley and your talents would never sink so low as to become lackey to a lackey. But here you are, I might even start to pity you. And that is where you consistently underestimate Redbill. I would stop at nothing to realize my desires. Oh, were the sweet memories we made together in Dunscave not enough to convince you of that? But I suppose I might be willing to overlook your stubborn indifference and return those stolen airship parts you so desperately seek, if you would but call me your captain. Completing that airship means more to me than you'll ever understand. I ain't leaving here without my stolen goods. If they're worth recovering, that is. You were Cockalorum. You didn't leave that plunder in wind-aspected territory, did you? Of course you did. It's as empty as a tosspot's tankard. Those airship parts are embedded with highly calibrated corrupted crystals. Put them in any contact with int sprites, and they're no better than glorified scrap. Wait a moment, he said contact, didn't he? How many wind sprites go contact in rock formations on Provenance, huh? It'll be fine. Odata, you've got hands on an airship, yes? Take her to Provenance and go pick up our stolen goods. Some genius hid them under a rock. You were bluffing? Obviously. Don't make me doubt your intelligence, Radlia. What airship needs parts that can't handle a little wind? Doubt what you'd like, Leofard. I hardly need bloody airship bits to beat you into submission. Let me sit into something more comfortable. Desiree! Did you say Desiree as in the Desiree Klingor? Since when was she a friend of the Redbills? Seems you're not the only one whose name is worth something in these parts. I'm still prettier though. Well then, sweet cockatoos. Let's go about cutting you up into cockeyed threes and fours, shall we? Redbill by himself is one thing, but Desiree is something else. Ain't nothing for it, lads. Flee for your lives! So much for monsters. Let's leave them to the garrison. Ain't enough meat on their shivering bones to warrant the chase. Radlia, I reckon this was little more than a diversion to you, but surely you didn't think I'd fall to such a weak hand. I've more pity that you assumed those airship parts were the only piece of value taken from me and mine. But no matter, it's time to make your allegiances clear. If you and your talents intend to continue this farce, then we have it out, here and now. Well? It seems I misjudged my prospects. I'd thought we simpletons might amount to more than sniveling turntails. But I have neither loyalty nor affection for a useless cockatoo. I suppose I shall have to content myself with this reunion in itself, but you will need more than clever bluffs to evade me next time. Of that you may be certain. We were standing by in case you need help, but I'm glad I didn't come to fisticuffs. It sounds like it's only a matter of time before Redbill tries her luck again, and God only knows what she has in mind. While sky pirates may prove profitable, villainy shall not. Maybe the cockatoos never forget the lesson you learned this day? Those were some fine samples without question, but nothing beats wearing me old wax again. Go ahead to the Parrot and wait for us in my chambers. We'll be along once I've spoken with our knight's most thorny. And this time we don't get ported. Well, Tata says all stolen property is accounted for and finishing touches on our airship proceed apace. And according to the Rose Knights, the cockatoos will be shipped off to the Diadem, where they can enjoy volunteering their services for the betterment of mankind. Speaking of which, Captain, what is to become of a miscellanea recovered from the cockatoo's hoard? I'm sure House Helena will lay claim to their possessions, but as for the appurtenances of origins unknown. Why not, puss? I don't pocket any jigumbob I find like some petty foister. We'll track down my rightful places soon enough, if my prediction holds. Desiree, is that you? Tataru? I heard you were in this corner of the world. It is, and you look quite as surprised as I feel to think we'd meet here among the clouds and sky pirates. I was just finishing up my affairs in Idleshire when who should come asking for me but Redbill Leofard? Quite a thrilling twist in my day, I'll have you know. How did Emmanelain put it? She's got her fingers in more pies than a high street baker. When I got wind she was in Idleshire, it felt like snubbing fate not to enlist her expertise. Well, I'm exquisitely glad you did, for I've returned triumphant. Allow me to present the famous traveling portraitist, Durmont. Portraitist? But of course, among the recovered items were a number of singularly beautiful paintings. Oh, I'm relieved to hear it. When I learned which vessel had fallen prey to sky pirates, I thought those pieces would be lost forever. So you had another victim of a monstrous cockatoos? Still, a personal summons to a parrot seems like the sort of social nicety to which the captain is normally intolerant. I believe my presence here may have another purpose entirely. You see, Leofard and I are old acquaintances. He commissioned me to paint that portrait, in fact. My beautiful daughter Redbill. She looks perfectly at home here. Beautiful daughter? I, Durmur's father to Lady Redbill, the gentlewoman who cared for Leofard as a lad. He abdicated all family affairs to his son when he became a practicing artist, but he's still a lord in lineage. I mean to say that the renowned portraitist Durmur is not only your grandfather but a former lord as well? Oh, you must forgive my blithe introduction from earlier. Not to forgive, Mr. Tataru. On the contrary, I'm indebted to you for tracking him down so quickly. Thanks to you, it can happen just as I hoped it might. Construction about finished on a new airship, and I wanted you here when I christened her. The Redbill will fly again. My dear boy, celebrating your mother's life with you continues to be my great honor. When you hung her portrait here, when you named your first airship, I could see the vestiges of her love shining in her countenance then, just as it is now. I do hope you continue to realize her greatest wish for you, to live as free and unfettered as the sky itself. I know she would be proud. A bit like herding cows, ain't it? Getting us adventuring types all in one room, but well worth the effort, I'd say. Moments like these are meant to be shared. Right, I believe we've got a new airship to fly, and the open skies awaits. Now this is an airship, and now she handles. I could fly to the edge of existence and back without so much as a hiccup. Which I hear on good authority, or whatever authority Emmanelain is, when he hears in his cups, you have literally done. I reckon I'd never seen such equal parts awed and envious, but I assume the invitation was simply lost by a post-Moogle. Nay, in all candor, I'm certain there are some skies only meant for your eyes. Escapades surpassing even my wildest imaginings. That might well be. So chart the ends of eternity and horizons filled with peril. Just don't think you've seen the last of what wonders these heavens hold. I'll come find you again before long, Desiree. They'll bring everything I always promise. That thrilling, heady rush of high adventure. Both are well maybe bitter sour, no, but it is but fodder for a union's most gay. No need to add more furball. It ain't as if Desiree's dropping off the face of a star. Not permanently, anyhow. We will meet again soon, although Kate Sif is liable to mope like a damp kitten till we do. I expect these parts will be free of half-baked brigands for a time yet. But should you ever find yourself in need of a Redbill, don't hesitate to call. Thank you. 'Tis no small comfort knowing our ships may distribute your wares in safety. As for you, Desiree, we'll be in touch. Well, that was invigorating. While I'd love nothing more than to catch our collective breaths over a cup of tea, business calls me to Sicard. No rest for the enterprising and talented, as they say. Shall we do a more? Might I persuade you to accompany us? I should very much like to hear of your adventures. Painting subjects I find personally inspiring is a particular credo of mine. I dare say you have brushed shoulders with more than a few individuals of note. Thank you for indulging on old man's eccentricities. Now then, perhaps you could begin with the adventures you share with Leofard and his crewmates? Leofard intentionally offloaded this in our direction, yes? Whatever could it be? Whatever it is, Leofard's a man of his word. How mysterious. But now that I think of it, Leofard did mention sending something along when he asked me to track down Duramore. Well, should make quite the sight lugging this around to all my meetings. So might I ask you to hold on to it for the time being? I trust you not to run off with my share of a reward. A gift from the notorious Redbills. No, they are rather a nice sort of sky pirate, don't you think? That they are. A bright, energetic young lady is your employer, Desiree. I hope shepherding me back to Ishka did not delay her business over long. The tales you shared on the journey here were beyond anything I could have anticipated. Never have I heard such inspiring episodes of daring do. Though I may not know them personally, I find myself fascinated by the individuals you described, the comrades and acquaintances of your journeys. Yes, I believe I shall remain in the capital to paint for a time. Should you desire a portrait, I would be happy to part with it for the cost of its supplies. Find me here and we can make the arrangements. And that brings us back to Old Charlian. Welcome back. I just received word from Mr. Sastaru. What's this about portrayists and sky pirates? Redbill Leofard gave you this. For the necklace? It seems to be a leather strap of sorts. And an antiquated one at that. Wait a moment, I recognize this design from my studies. This is a relic of the ancient city of Mhach. It's said that the Mhachai sorcerers would weave these cords with magics to make them unbreakable. You'd be hard-pressed to find better material for a necklace. Oh, Mr. Sataru would be so delighted. She chatted endlessly about how pleased she was to know the Redbills and what sort of products might prove useful to our daring new friends. And the Rose Knights have already placed an order for the garrison. So on all, I believe our latest endeavor was a brilliant success. As always, I shall be on the lookout for new areas of opportunity, so I hope we can count on you to serve as our charming emissary again. In fact, I believe Mr. Sataru will insist upon it. Until next time. You may now purchase portraits from Duramore by speaking to him in Ishkard. Good. And now I must think about how I will cut this, because this is a very long thing I have recorded now. Anyway, that's my problem. Yeah. Until next time then, Mace, and don't get lost.